In this lesson, we are going to explore the two types of clients in OAuth 2. As we learned in previous lessons, an OAuth 2 client is an application that the resource owner grants access to their resources. When configuring your authorization server, you will need to define these applications as OAuth 2 clients within the server. At this point, you will need to decide whether you are configuring the application as a public client or a confidential client. Understanding this difference is essential to ensure a correct configuration in the authorization server and to avoid security misconfiguration vulnerabilities. Additionally, the client type you choose will also impact the OAuth 2 flow you will implement, which we will discuss in detail later. In simple terms, a public client is an application that cannot securely store secrets, while a confidential client is an application that can. You can think of the client secret as the password for the application. If the application cannot securely store this password, it falls into the public client category. Let's start with public clients. Public clients are typically applications that cannot securely store credentials, such as client secret. Examples include browser-based applications like single-page applications, native mobile applications, desktop applications, and even applications running on smart TVs. These applications operate in an environment where the user, not the application developer, has control. For instance, a single-page application loads everything in the browser, including the entire application code. This means that variables, entries, and any sensitive information defined within the application could potentially be exposed if not handled correctly. Similarly, mobile applications and applications on smart TVs also run on devices controlled by the user. This user-controlled environment means that credentials stored or used by these applications can be intercepted more easily. Frameworks like Vue.js, Angular, React, Swift for iOS, Android, and even some frameworks for smart TVs are examples of technologies used to build public clients. The key takeaway here is that because these applications are running on the user's device, they cannot be trusted to securely manage sensitive information like client secrets. Now let's talk about confidential clients. Confidential clients are different because they run on servers that the developer controls, allowing them to securely store and manage credentials. These are typically server-side applications such as traditional web applications or enterprise-level applications. Since these applications are hosted on a server which is controlled environment, they can securely store credentials like client secrets. This secure storage makes them much safer when interacting with the authorization server, as they can authenticate themselves effectively without exposing sensitive information. Frameworks like Laravel, Spring, Django, and Node.js are often used to build confidential clients, because they can securely handle sensitive data, for example as environment variables. So the key difference between these two client types lies in where they run and who controls the environment. Public clients run in environments controlled by the user, making them less secure and more prone to interception. Confidential clients, on the other hand, run in environments controlled by the developer, allowing for secure credentials management. In our next lesson, we will explore how OAuth 2 scopes help define what data an application can access and how they limit permissions to keep resources secure.